Ride we, ride we, ride we.
Show your face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/hookah_anonymous. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines, but we'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous and follow us there. Now, without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, I'm convinced part of being a rapper means you have to go to jail somehow, some way. Like in their contract somewhere, maybe in the fine print, it states that if you would like to have fame, have success musically, at some point in your career, you have to go to jail. I don't care what nobody say, because for every rapper you could tell me that hasn't been to jail, I have two each that have. And I think I'm being literal when I say that. Now, when it comes to Rod Wave, he does a good job staying out the media, and most people like him in his music. Heavyset guy with the melodic tone that could sing or rap, whatever you want to categorize it these days, but rap about pain, heartbreak, and so forth. But what people don't know is that the Florida-based rapper may not always be wrapped up in beef per se, but when it comes to where he's from, he's known to have messed with a lot of women and be in the mix of female drama more than anything. Allegedly, he had a baby on a woman he was messing with recently, but those are rumors deep-rooted in Florida tea pages dedicated to putting popular Floridians on blast. Now, I'm not too into knowing about that situation, but I'm wondering if maybe that situation is what sparked this one, because Rod...
I really want to know what made him shoot up you know what I'm saying, the truck like 14 times, bro. Like, I don't understand because that don't sound like this situation don't paint the picture of the type of artist he is. You know what I'm saying? He's known for making, emotional music, you know what I'm saying? Like emotional thug music. So the fact that he did something like this is crazy. Like, it's not him.
Wave is being accused of shooting, and yes, I said shooting, up his current girlfriend's vehicle at least 14 times according to the police report. Now, fellas, well, and ladies, if you have a partner, I don't care how much you love them, I don't care how much they say they love you. If you have a partner and you see that there's early signs of domestic violence, or he or she have shown indications of being overly aggressive and puts their hands on you, leave immediately.
But some people, mostly women, they stay in this situation because they scared, you know? Like a lot of women are scared to speak up. And I think that's why, like when I do these reactions to the Country Wayne skits, the character Nikki, she was like that, like in a relationship with a abusive boyfriend, and she's scared. Like, not I say, well, yeah, maybe she was scared to leave, but she was just dumb. You know what I'm saying? It had to for something bad to happen to really get her to leave the situation. And that's half of the time what happens, bro. Like, people don't want to get out the situation. They want to get out the situation when shit already gone left, like too much left. And sometimes it end up in debt.
Some people think it's cute, some people think it's funny, some people may even like it low-key. But sometimes those little attacks can lead to bigger ones. In a lot of cases, we've seen it end in fatality. almost like how
Like I
this
just
one
said.
could have became. Now the part I'm most interested in is to know, as an artist as big as Rod Wave, what will make him go and crash out, thinking he was going to get away with shooting at his girlfriend's vehicle, attempting to strike her, and think that he was going to get away with it. First off, he's too hard to miss, that's one. But then two, with all the Ring cameras that there is, home and business surveillance in surrounding areas, this was basically a crash out mission. We're going to get into his charges and also break down what they're saying transpired and what may have led up to Rod Wave trying to shoot his girlfriend, allegedly. Now before we do, make sure I hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now according to reports, Rod Wave have been hit with 13 charges, including aggravated assault, conspiracy to commit a felony, 2 counts of criminal damage to property, pointing or aiming guns or pistols, 2 counts of possession of firearm or knives, 2 counts of reckless conduct, simple assault, 2 counts of felony tampering with evidence, and 2 counts of willful obstruction to law enforcement.
Damn.
Now those are some pretty serious charges. Despite it being 13 of them, in the state of Georgia, possessing a firearm or knife during the commission of a felony can result in a penalty of up to 5 years in prison for a first-time offense, and an aggravated assault charge can result in a prison sentence.
And I really can't believe why niggas would really crash out like that. Risk their whole lives going to jail, bro. Like, what's the point? Like, you a celebrity, you could get another bitch. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know what these women be doing to these men for them to put themselves in a situation where they gotta choose either, their life, or being in jail, bro. Like, that shit ain't worth it.
Ranging from 1 to 20 years.
Do you have a car? Do you have a clean driving record? Did you know that you could pay as low as $39 a month?
Depending on the specifics of the case. Now with him being accused of shooting at her vehicle, I'm sure they'll be looking to give him way more than just 1 or 2 years in prison. Now that's just 2 charges, but let's get into what the reports are saying transpired and what led him to allegedly shoot up his girlfriend's car. Now a report based on the incident will say, quote, at 21:21 hours, Mr. Green, Miss Andrews, and Mr. Green's associate are then observed walking out of the residence. Mr. Green and the associate are both carrying bags and what appears to be a box from the residence as Miss Andrews follow. There is no audio with the video, but it appears that Miss Andrews and Mr. Green are in a verbal argument, and it appears that Miss Andrews yells at Mr. Green. Mr. Green then pulls out a Glock 20 10mm pistol from under his left arm that he has taken from the residence, and as he walks through the garage courtyard, he opens fire at Miss Andrews' Mercedes G-Wagon, firing 14 rounds in total, emptying the pistol magazine. Miss Andrews' 2025 Mercedes G-Wagon was struck by 11 rounds. 1 round struck Mr. Green's 2022, and then that's where it cuts off. Now, according to reports, this altercation didn't happen yesterday, but instead it took place last month. He was arrested yesterday because the incident was caught on surveillance from an unknown source, and due to the fact that he used the firearm carelessly, he was charged. Rod Wave was already out on bond for a separate case for possession of ammunition or a weapon, and was arrested because they felt he was involved in a gang-related shooting that left 4 people injured in 2024. Well, that bond was revoked due to him being arrested again, but somehow, someway, they're saying he was released out on bond again for this latest incident that happened last month. Now, judging from him being arrested and they're saying that it's an old incident from last month, I'm sure it's probably because it was a shooting period that had to be investigated.
Yeah, but why did they wait for this so fucking long, bro? Like, normally when shit like that goes down, that shit happen. Especially if as a black man doing some shit like that, bro. Like, they coming instantly. But I don't know if the police didn't get called then or what, but bruh.
Times out of 10, if he lives in a good neighborhood, when they heard the shots, they called police, and when police arrived, he tried to act like he didn't know anything. However, they probably investigated and got surveillance footage from one of the surrounding houses, reviewed it, and used it to go and arrest him a month later after doing the investigations. The police report basically states that they based their arrest off a surveillance video, and that's why they were able to describe what they seen, but said it was no audio. So I don't know if maybe they confiscated his home surveillance video or got it from another neighbor's house, but this is why I said earlier that he crashed out. There's no way you think you're gonna get away with shooting in a nice neighborhood and nobody's gonna say anything. On top of that, I'm sure the neighbors heard them arguing first, so when they heard the gunshots following after, they probably thought someone got shot and called the cops. That's what I would have thought. But on the flip side of that,
Well, the whole time, man, bro, why be in these nice neighborhoods and doing hood shit like that, bro? You can't. You gotta think in your mind, bro. Like you're not in the projects no more, and that's what half of them forget, bro. Y'all are not in the projects no more. We made it out that shit. So it's like you gotta be aware of your surroundings and knowing where you at, bro. You know, but some people they just when you crash out like that, you ain't gonna think about, where you at and stuff like that, bro.
charges all seem like charges that he got for the shooting itself, and none as if he was trying to actually shoot his girlfriend. According to articles, she wasn't even in the car at the time of the shooting. So clearly he wasn't trying to shoot her, but I guess he just got in his feelings, wanted to send a message.
Wait a minute. So this nigga pulled a Richard Pryor. If y'all don't know, the late great Richard Pryor, he had a standoff, a stand-up comedy when he explained a situation where his woman was trying to leave, so she was getting in the car. He didn't shoot her; he shot at the car. So when she got out the car, he shot at the car numerous of times, and then the police came. Bro, damn, bro, it's like deja vu.
Probably just brought the car for her because they said it was a 2025 G-Wagon, which means it was brand new, and he called himself just shooting into it for whatever reason. And now it's costing him possibly his freedom. Now they say you gotta watch out for them damn singers, because although the ladies love them, when they get in their feelings, there's no telling what may happen, and evidently. Now I doubt he'll do any time for this, but then again, he has this case along with the other one that he has out on bond for. So having multiple cases going at once is never a good look when you're trying to fight them. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Not to mention, with how social media works, I'm more than sure that in the near future, we'll be seeing that surveillance footage and get to see Rod Wave think he was at a shooting range all on camera. But anyway, y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping, and I'm out.
But like whole time, bro. That's why I say, bro. It's just a matter of just being to yourself, man. Because what's the point? You go really crash. He really crashed out, bro. It was never really nothing bad on Rod Wave name until this situation came about. And in another situation of crashing out, hold up, I'm about to look at it. We about to look at it. Cause, bro, it's never that deep to shoot at a female, bro. It's never that deep. For nothing though. And this is another prime example of it, bro. This is another prime example of it.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class? There's
Now facing charges for a deadly shooting at a gas station. Police say Jonathan Robinson shot and killed a man early Wednesday. The shooting happened at a BP gas station near 75th and Stony. Robinson allegedly got into an argument with the 40-year-old victim. He now faces murder charges and is expected in court today.
He said, what? I'm trying to read their lips right here.
Yo, face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top.
why I said, bro, you gotta.
Y'all, right now there's a video going viral of a Chicago man who calls himself shooting another man in point blank range in the face and head area, all because he tried to talk to his girlfriend, allegedly. Now, before we even get into it, let me tell y'all this right now. Even though it's blurred, the video is pretty graphic, and not only that, but it just goes to show how careless people are when it comes to taking a life with zero remorse. Not only that, but it was also done at a gas station, which means that of course he had to know that he'll be caught in 4K, and it just seems like Buddy didn't have 2 cares in the world.
Basically, because niggas not realizing now, like, cameras are everywhere now, bro. So it's really hard to catch a body like that, bro. Like, you did that at a gas station. Like, oh, why?
He either wanted to show off in front of his girl for no reason at all, or he was under the influence of some type of drug. I personally think it's a mixture of both, because there's no way in this world that you could convince me that someone is willing to take a life so easily out in the open, all because another man stared or even tried to talk to your girlfriend. Exactly. This is something I literally had to see for myself, because if I didn't, I wouldn't even have believed it. However, of course, he was caught almost immediately after the shooting, in which after he came down off whatever drug he was on, I know he probably came to his senses and realized that jail was inevitable. But here's what a news article had to say about the shooting. After his capture, it'll say, quote, "A 41-year-old Chicago man has been charged with first-degree M after a fatal shooting at a gas station on the city's south side. Police say Jonathan Robinson shot a 40-year-old man multiple times following an argument early Wednesday morning before fleeing the scene. Robinson was later arrested and also faces a felony drug charge. Jonathan Robinson, 41, was arrested Wednesday morning in the South Shore neighborhood. He was charged with 1 count of first-degree M and 1 count of unlawful manufacture, delivery of cannabis between 30 and 500 grams, Chicago police said. The charges stem from a shooting just after 1 a.m. Wednesday in the 7400 block of South Stony Island Avenue, where police said Robinson shot the 40-year-old victim multiple times before fleeing in a white vehicle. The victim was pronounced.
Bro, why would niggas get caught up with drugs? They got that much drugs on them, bro. It used to be, you don't keep that shit on you. You know what I'm saying? You have a little stash spot or something like that. Don't bring that shit to your house. You feel me? But nowadays, the streets are just so different. When I was in the streets, it wasn't like that. Like today's street niggas, bro, it ain't different and weird as shit.
Announced dead at the scene, and his name has not yet been released. Robinson is scheduled to appear for a detention hearing Friday, which was last week. Now, like I said before, he seemed to be under some type of influence of drugs, and now it makes sense as to why he's facing felony drug charges, because who knows what that man was under the influence of. However, to make matters even more interesting, it's no wonder he was so comfortable taking the life right on camera over nothing, because he was already charged with a prior M charge back in 2010 when him along with another man shot and unalived a 72-year-old man during a home invasion gone wrong. So clearly, this man shouldn't even have been in the streets, because you
should have been laying low the whole time. Because if you already had a prior murder, why would you be out in the open and then strap at that? That another prime example of why I say these so-called criminals are dummies, bro. Like, they don't think, they just react.
He's no stranger to these type of charges, and he already be the case where he was able to return to society, which CPD fails again. But here's the kicker.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class? There's finally a better way. It's called Otter.
That's really sad.
Shout out to Word from the Trenches, because they interviewed him, and let's just say the person that we seen in that interview isn't the same person that we seen on camera taking another man's life. Check this out.
I'm telling you.
Like, you being old, you be trying to tell them, like, do the right thing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Of course I do, man. They ain't gonna even call me on no. They ain't gonna even want me to get involved. They don't even want me to know no like that. I ain't gonna even lie to you. They ain't gonna even call me and say, like, yeah, this river. I'm like, well, nah, I don't wanna talk, bro. I can't talk to you like that. Like, you know, I tell them.
What makes this whole thing even worse is that it's rumored that all the man was doing was asking the girl if she smoked. Literally. Wow. Which 9 times out of 10, he probably sold a little marijuana and he was looking for a potential customer while he was at the gas station. Right. But it's crazy, man. Enough of that. Let's get into the video, y'all, and see what transpired. But before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Yeah. He definitely look like he checking her out, but he looking in the car too, see if she with somebody.
He definitely checking her out. She ain't even know that far.
I don't know. Oh, he flinching. Oh, he pointed the gun.
Oh, he pointed the gun.
Yeah, he definitely under some type of drug or something. Look at him. Look how he looking at it. Look.
That's crazy.
He said, what? I'm trying to read their lips right here. Look. He shooting right in his face. This is crazy. Proceeded to keep shooting. The girl about to leave. The girl about to leave her. Look how casually he's. Look. No urgency. Look.
Nothing.
No, nothing. Let's go back. And it don't even seem like he said much to her. See, but then her.
And I feel like in this situation, bro, she should have just, when she seen him get out the car, she should have just stopped the situation like, hey, hold up. Nah, let me get back in the car. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just move on. And I feel like if women would play a part in that and say stuff like that, situations like this wouldn't happen. Because honestly, when he got out the car, she just was like, she probably wouldn't even saying that. Like, first thing she should have just not even got in the car, was just like, bro, like, stop. No. Like, get in the car, let's go, man.
Too, right? See, and this is why I always say women sometimes, man, because at the end of the day, I felt that she could have stopped it. Right? I feel
Exactly. My point exactly. But hey, continue. Let's continue.
She could have stopped it, or she could have got in the middle. She could have calmed him down and say, "Oh, listen, it's not that serious." If it is in fact that he was just asking her if she smoked, guess what? That's all she had to tell him. Like, yo, it's not that serious. He just asked me if I smoke. That was it.
Yeah.
But of course, she just went in the car, regular, and watched all this transpire.
Sad.
But they already pointed. Oh. But him too. Why? He backing up. Oh.
And this whole situation, bro, is sad because it's like this happening day after day after day after day. And it's only the black community doing this shit, bro. It's like we killing ourselves, and it's like, for what? For what? And it's like, when situations like, not even saying this situation, but situations like when we end up starting fighting, motherfuckers pulling our camera instead of trying to stop the situations. I can understand, running a friendly fade and this and that. But why motherfuckers gotta pull their cameras out and they post it? It's like, bro, it don't make sense. It don't make fucking sense. And I'm tired of this shit, bro. Like, for real.
He shoots. And look, carelessly just walk away like it's nothing. Then run. The door's not open. Look at this. Crazy. Now, let me tell you this. I don't know what was up with him, though. Here's my thing. Obviously, he didn't have a weapon on him, right? So, he got a... Keep in mind, he got an Averex on. I don't know what... Averex, J's on. He got a chain on. He looking like money. To look like this and not have a weapon on you in Chicago is crazy.
Definitely.
But then also here, right? You know you don't got a weapon on you. I'm not talking. I'm sorry. If I don't got no weapon on me, I see him. He already pointed the weapon at me already. He pointed at him. I don't know if it clicked, maybe it jammed, who knows? But he pointed it at me, right? And I just stood there and tried to talk to him. Nah, Buddy should at least try to run. Zigzag or something. Give yourself a chance. Look. Over. Alright, y'all. Now, after the shooting video went viral, here's what the sister of the victim had to say as she would take to her Facebook to say, quote, "I just watched this man shoot my brother down for no reason. All because he said he got good smoke. You crazy and sick in the head for this one. I hate I even watched that bull-ish. You wrong, dude." She put heartbreak emojis and tears emojis. He deserved to be done the same way. Y'all don't even have a heart anymore. Now, some people who seen this video...
And that's a fact. That's a fact. Like, some people really don't have a heart anymore. And it's like, they would risk their lives, like, just going to the penitentiary forever or getting a death penalty. You know what I'm saying? All because you let your emotions get involved, bro. And what I learned, because I was one of those people, bro, just living off my emotions. Sometimes you got to think before you act, you know, because some situations ain't worth it. And then you don't want to be in a situation, because when you put yourself in a situation like this, not only are you and that person involved, but they got families involved, bro. That man could have had kids or, you know what I'm saying, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's son. That's somebody's uncle. You know what I'm saying? Brother. And it's like, it's not worth it in the end, bro. You just got to really sit back and think, like, this little situation go cost me my whole life in prison. And I remember on Facebook, I seen a guy had made a post like that. He said 5 seconds of his emotions left him a lifetime in prison. And it's just, bro, some people really don't think. In this world, especially what's going on right now, bro, you can't just live off your emotions. You gotta think. You definitely gotta think.
Video is saying that it had to be more to the story than just him trying to holler at his girl. However, that's the story that's put out there, and honestly, judging from the context of the video, it seemed like that was the reason. Clearly the boyfriend been in the car, but he only decided to get out when the girl walked away, and it seemed like a conversation between Red Jacket and the girl was had, right? Then towards the end, he got out. But in reality, there's really jealous men like this out there in the world, unfortunately. You have guys like him, then you have other guys who's ready to shoot and unalive another man just for being with an ex-girlfriend of theirs. It's crazy. As if the man got anything to do with their problems. I'm talking about the dudes that say things like, "Yo, I'm telling you right now, I better not see you out with this motherfucker, because if I do, I'm going to beat you and him up." Whoa. Wait right there, Bugger. Why you want to beat me up? Matter of fact, have her. Right? It ain't even that serious.
It ain't.
Therapy has always been such a scary idea to me because I simply did not know where to get started. I didn't know how to find my person.
But these dudes really be out here crashing out for these women. And the crazy part is, while he's about to spend potentially the rest of his life in jail, what you think she gonna be doing? Right? What you think she gonna do? Once you hear all the time he's about to get, because it's going to be definitely 20 plus, he's going to have manslaughter, some to that extent. Then he's going to get the habitual criminal act for having a weapon, and he's not supposed to because he's a felon. He's already been charged with an M before, but he beat it, I guess. So how much time you think he about to do? But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. What y'all think this was over? Do you think?
Bro, that's crazy. You catch an M charge and beat it, and then end up catching another one for some bullshit, bro. All because you jealous, bro. Like, I don't understand that shit, bro. I really don't understand that. But that's what people do. This is what people do. This is the type of people that we got out here. And they wonder why all the jails full up. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This shit sad.
Show your face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/hookah_anonymous. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines, but we'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, see, this goes all the way back to Varnov 1700, claiming that your lyrics and interviews can't be used against you in the court of law. Well, we're seeing it happen right before our eyes, and there's been countless times where the government have been using social media content to prosecute individuals. Now, whether it's stick or not, whatever you put on social media can and will be used against you in the court of law, and it's enough to get you indicted. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know anybody that want to even be caught up in the process of going back and forth, fighting indictments, especially people who may not even be able to afford to bail out when the time comes. So the best way to avoid even being tied up in any of it is to just refrain from putting anything that can incriminate you on social media. As easy as that sounds, for some people, I don't know what it is, but it's been the hardest thing for these rappers to do as of lately. Whether it's going live and saying too much, posting on your story or close friends that you think nobody sees, or just mentioning too much in your song lyrics. While you think you're trolling the ops, you have to remember that it's not just them watching, but it's also the police. There's people like Varnov 1700 that went to No Jumper and said that the feds can indict you for anything you say in songs or interviews, but yet I can name at least 5 rappers already that we publicly seen have their music lyrics or social media content used against them in their case. You have Casanova 2 times, Young Thug, Melly, K-Flock, now you have the latest, Lil Durk. See how easy that was? Now they tried the song lyrics with Lil Durk.
But the thing about with him, I knew it was gonna be a matter of time because he talked too much in his lyrics, bro. All in his songs, bro. Like, it's just self-snitching at its finest, bro. Like, it's just certain shit is better off not said at all. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't need a response. Everybody doesn't need to know certain things. Just let that shit be, bro. But some people, like this new generation, they can't do that. Soon as something happens, they gotta go to the internet with it. Oh, I did this and I did that.
At first, but as y'all know, Durk have a hell of a lawyer who goes by the name Drew Finland, and he quickly debunked their allegations proving that the lyrics they chose to use against Dirk was created long before the shooting involving Lil Pab, in which he's accused of being behind, as prosecutors claim he paid for the hit to target Quando Rondo, but his cousin Lil Pab was struck and unalive instead in the process. Dirk's attorney got the producer of the song they claimed was trolling Quando Rondo, and he testified that the song they're alleging was a shot at Quando was actually created 7 months before the shooting even took place, proving that it was impossible to be targeting Quando or Lil Pab. Drew tried to get the case dismissed on the grounds that the federal prosecutors used false information to sway a grand jury, in which it is illegal. But as y'all know, the feds don't just give up that easy. If y'all remember, Dirk has been granted 2 previous bond hearings with hopes of getting out so he could fight his case from the outside before his trial is set to start in October. The first one in December he was denied. The second one that was granted in April, he was denied yet again. And now, it's been stated that he's been granted another bond hearing date. Now before I continue, let me tell y'all that this is the first time I ever seen something like this. I never seen someone get not 1, not 2, but 3 bond hearings in less than a year. Matter of fact, he was just denied, and yet he's been granted another bond hearing just weeks from being denied the second one. Now maybe it's just me, but if y'all ever heard of something like that, let us know in the comments. Some of y'all are gonna say, oh, it's because he got money. But I don't know. Something don't smell right if you ask me. However,
It don't. I ain't gonna lie to you. The charges, even with the charge he caught with the case he caught with Vaughn, I was like, that shit is fishy. Cause how you get off on some shit like that? And money, you can't excuse money for the situation. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, something ain't right with this dude, bro. I done said this so many times. Something ain't right with Dirk, but hey, I don't know. I'm guessing with this case, it go all come together and it's going to unfold and we go see what it is.
trial was originally supposed to start in January of this year, but for whatever reason that wasn't made clear to the public, it was pushed back to October of this year, and suddenly we're seeing him be granted all these bond hearings. My only question is, what changed? In his last bond hearing, the Judge Donahue, previously mentioned significant concerns, pointing out Dirk's alleged influence in violent circles and his decision to leave the country after authorities arrested his co-defendants. Prosecutors argued that his freedom posed a continued threat to public safety and undermines the integrity of the investigation. Now, according to the new bond hearing that Dirk was granted to appear in court on June 2nd for, it's a formal request for reconsideration that was submitted on May 14th, just 6 days after he was denied in the second hearing. His attorney Chrissy O'Connor is now seeking for a different judge, a district one, to review the previous denials and reevaluate whether he must stay behind bars or not. However, the question everyone has is, what have changed? What changed within the case that will make a district judge want to reconsider anything from May 8th to June 2nd? The last judge stated Dirk influenced violent circles, tried to leave the country when his co-defendants got arrested, which made him a flight risk, and the prosecutors argued that his release posed a threat to public safety and undermined the integrity of the investigation. So, what changed? Does he not still pose a threat to public safety? Is he not still considered a flight risk? Does his release not undermine the integrity of the investigation still? And y'all need to pay attention to that, right? Pay attention to the wording. The article stated that his release undermined the integrity of the investigation. Now that sounds to me like there's still an ongoing investigation. Why else would it undermine the investigation if the investigation is not done and finished?
Exactly. Fucking exactly, because I feel like, okay, what's the point of letting him out? You know what I'm saying? Because things right now are, you know, they calm down. A lot of things have, well, since he been in there, a lot of things have calmed down, even though there's a lot going on with Old Block and I think 600. So it's like the situation with him being out, a lot of shit was happening because he was allegedly organizing, hits and all this. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, now that the breadwinner is gone, and you think you got two breadwinners that's gone. You got Vaughn that's gone, and you got Dirt that's gone right now. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna get ugly. It's definitely gonna
unless
get ugly.
it's ongoing. At least that's just what I think. Anyway, let's get into the documents that's been put out that the feds have just released, indicating that they'll be using Dirk's words from his interview with DJ Academics back in 2000.
Oh, no, not that interview. Hey,
Big ideas.
hey, that's why you gotta be careful of doing these interviews, bro. Like them Vlad interviews will get your ass locked up for sure. But using the academics, it was a lot of questionings, a lot of fed questions.
23. Now the transcripts would read, quote, or after SR's death, the release of the song After the M gave defendant's fans fodder to associate him with the M, a claim that defendant himself seemed to admit during an interview on a popular podcast. As to prejudice, defendants claim that the lyrics were one of only two pieces of evidence that the first superseding indictment cited against him, completely disregards and belittles the grand jury's findings in all three indictments that defendant was the organizer and leader of this calculated M plot. The FSI singles reference to defendant's lyrics in an introductory allegation caused no prejudice considering the numerous material allegations that defendant directed this revenge unaliving. In the grand jury's confirmation, when it returned to SSI, that defendant was charged for his murderous conduct, not his lyrics. The court should deny the motion to dismiss. So basically what they're saying is they didn't care about the lyrics. It was more so about his conduct. So when they were saying that they want to get the case dismissed, they were just basically saying, well, it wasn't about the lyrics that we were pointing out. It was more so about the conduct, in which they're making it seem like he was bragging about doing it, whether he had involvement in it or not. Y'all see how that could work against you? They're saying it don't matter whether he did it or not. He made it seem like he did, and he was allowing his fans to believe that he had some type of involvement in it, and they're using DJ Academics' platform to point out what he said. Let's continue. It says in May 2023, defendant appeared on a well-known podcast where he tacitly admitted his involvement in the unaliving of SR. Specifically, after being asked about his rivalry with TB, in response to the interviewer's question about whether the defendant was triggered by the Slide for Vaughn comments, a reference to sliding or exacting revenge for OTF member DB's death. Defendant coyly responded, for some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. Might be the water. We here though. Now for y'all that swear that they can't do anything to you because of what you say in your music or in these interviews, let this be a lesson right here. Stop going on these podcasts, doing these interviews, and saying whatever, thinking that it can't come back to bite you in the long run. Because just as much as you think your ops are watching and you probably trying to impress or troll, guess what? The police are too. And evidently, it's not just what you say that they can get you on, it's your conduct. So you could be playing or you could be acting like you had something to do with something and really didn't. They don't care. If you make it seem like you did, they will try and hold you accountable. Could you imagine getting booked on a body that you literally had nothing to do, whether you know somebody did it or not, and you still got to do time for it because you wanted to act like you had some type of involvement to
Hey, but that's a lot of niggas nowadays, bro. They want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of them get popped, though, especially when you ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Press people around you. Crazy. Now, when it comes to him being released, they also mention why they feel he should be denied and painting him as a threat to society. Basically saying they're worried that if he is released, it may hurt their investigation and witnesses may be tampered with. It'll say, quote, grand jury secrecy exists for a reason. Indeed, the proper functioning of our grand jury system depends on it. This is especially true in cases like this, one where witnesses have been threatened and protecting their safety is paramount. The charged conduct at issue, defendant allegedly dispatching 6 hitmen to unalive a rival located in another part of the country, also showcases the palpable danger to witnesses and to those the co-conspirators perceive as impediments to their freedom. As the Supreme Court has repeatedly held, if pre-indictment proceedings were made public, many prospective witnesses would be hesitant to come forward voluntarily, knowing that those against whom they testify will be aware of that testimony. Moreover, witnesses who appeared before the grand jury will be less likely to testify fully and frankly, as they will be open to retribution, and then it cuts off. Now, if you pay attention, what that tells us is there's definitely either a cooperator or a witness that's within this case. And basically what they're saying is, if there's witnesses or cooperators out there and Little Durk is being accused of hiring hitmen to go to another part of the country to actually unalive somebody, what y'all think he could do when he's out? Right? If he knows that there are witnesses, if he knows that there's people that's going to cooperate against him and he could get their location or whatever he could do, if he's already being accused of that, knowing the power that he possessed, why bring him out and risk him doing the same thing and tampering with their case? And when you think about it like that, they actually have a point. So Durk's attorneys definitely got their work cut out for them, because when you think about it from that aspect, when they say, well, he's already being charged for having the power and the money to have guys cross state lines and get on a whole plane to go to another part of the country to do an unaliving, then why would we let him out and risk our chances of solving this case?
Exactly. And I don't see why you let your homies go do the hit. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, bro, if you wanted something done like that, like you hired an actual hitman so where he don't get caught or nothing like that. But this situation was sloppy, bro. Like sloppy and retarded, bro.
And the crazy part is, I didn't even think about it from that aspect. Like I said, they have a point. Now I see some people calling academics Vlad now, but no, it's a difference. Academics didn't bombard Durk with incriminating questions, forcing an incriminating answer. He asked a question, and it was pretty much a question that everybody wanted to know. It was just the way that Durk answered. It's the same way Brick Baby answered when he was asked a similar question on No Jumper by Poetic Flocka. He said, I heard they can't say that no more. And then he proceeded to say a little more. And see, these guys for some reason think that the feds are slow. They think the little code words and phrases that they use could trick the feds. It's 2025. The feds either know the slang already because a lot of them new police officers are young and some of them are really from the hood. If not, they just know the slang because some of them even grew up engaging in the drill culture as fans. But then you have those that it's their job to know intel about the culture. I mean, some of these guys are literally getting paid six figures to actually find out about what's going on within the street. So what you think they're doing? It's literally their job. Or they pay snitches a very, very good salary for them to tell them everything they need to know. Basically. So it's different because it's not like back in the days. Now snitches are paid salaries to tell and don't even have to work a job,
and that's crazy work. Like, they didn't have that back then. They didn't have that. Now niggas getting paid salary, and then used to be when you were snitching, you know what I'm saying, you would get touched. Nowadays, they don't get touched at all, bro. Like, it's just wicked out here now. Like, it's really wicked. But it's like a lot of y'all want to be in the streets or be like these guys that's on these records, and look what they going through. You know what I'm saying? Some of them be talking that gangster shit, but then they be snitches the whole time.
You would never, ever know. Crazy. Now, as you can see, the feds is working overtime on Little Durk because if y'all notice, every time it seemed like they are making arrangements to get him out, they come with something. First, when he had the first bond hearing, they brought out the sealed indictment for the unaliving of Stephon Mack. Then the second time, they hit him with another stalking charge to compound on top of the Lil Pab case. Now, once the third bond has been granted, they come out almost immediately with this information. And this is why I say the feds have more tricks up their sleeve, because we're only seeing this because they're doing their best to keep him inside. But I could bet my bottom dollar that these things are just the tip of the iceberg and they're waiting for trial to really unravel everything that they have. They're speaking like they have witnesses, they're speaking like they got cooperators, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And for y'all that's confused about all these bond hearings, just know that this is for the release before trial. It has nothing to do with him being totally dismissed from the case itself. So keep that in mind, man. But that's pretty much it. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know if y'all think this will hurt Dirk.
It did, bro. Like, this shit just diabolical, bro. It just don't make sense. But people put themselves in a position, in a prediction. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Oh, forgive me, y'all. I'm so tired right now. In a position like this, they put themselves in that position to do that, man. But uh, I pray everybody get their shit together, bro, because ain't no way you gonna be that famous and rich and be having all these problems. It's bad enough, bro. You have problems like with gold diggers, haters, fake friends and shit like that. Fake family members. But it's like you bringing these type of problems on yourself. You don't need to do that. But y'all, I'm about to get off here tonight. I'll probably go live again probably Saturday, man. Probably Saturday. Cause I got a few days off and be recording and editing and shit like that, bro. Y'all drop in the comments or whatever, like some shit y'all want me to react to or go live with y'all about. And I'll see y'all Saturday, bro.